Welcome to Libations with Lynn. I am the marketing director of ICD, and I'm here with Sue West, our president, for a few more days.
Just a few more.
Yes.
Sorry.
Tell me how many years you've been involved in ICD overall.
Overall, I joined ICD and NAPO in 2004.
Awesome.
Yeah, right.
Drinking coffee. Are you drinking coffee or tea?
I'm drinking coffee this morning.
All right.
Yeah.
So thank you. I mean, really, I don't even know where to start, really, but to say thank you from the entire board and subscribers for bringing us to where we are here on June 26th, 27th, 2018. You've been our president for the last 2 years. And July 1st, we're going to have a shift to Allison Lush.
Yeah.
And so I would like for you to share your accomplishments. Toot your horn, be proud, tell us what you've accomplished since being the president.
Okay. So one of the things that I always read about leadership is the best leaders are the ones who have some humility. And that's sort of inbred with me, but I will try.
Okay.
When I walked into this role, when I did my application, I talked a lot about transitions because I had a 18-year corporate career in direct marketing, managing vendors, client services, account executive, all of that. And one of the past presidents had said, "You might be the most business experienced president we've ever had." I haven't done a survey, but it's really helping ICD at this stage of our life. When I was president-elect, I had a lot of people come up to me and say things like, "There are cracks in the foundation of ICD." I didn't even know what that meant, but for the way my mind works, I knew it was important, so it stuck in my head. I had people say to me, "You need to fix customer service. It is a big problem and people are leaving for it." And I was like, okay, but I'm only president-elect, but okay, I'll bring that forward and see what we can do. And so really, the cracks in the foundation ended up being clearly customer service. By that I mean responsiveness, timeliness, vault uploads, marketing conference soon enough. We lost money. We've actually lost money for the last 4 years, which is not that uncommon for associations, but for an organization our size, we can't do that. It's got to be at least a break even. And so it was tighter financial controls. It was tighter management of contractors, both of whom took a pay cut last year in order to help sort of regroup and figure out, okay, what is ICD now? What is ICD now? So I really appreciate that. What I also found, and we had gotten really insulated from subscribers. Mm-hmm. And we had done the right thing by delegating some of the responsibilities, but we had to figure out how to get closer to subscribers because people weren't talking. They were getting frustrated. Then they would leave. We didn't even know why. So we did, at the virtual assembly, you'll hear a lot more specifics, but I was very disturbed by that because my biggest pet peeve is silence is never golden in the world of customer service. I spent probably 15 years of my corporate career somehow working directly with clients. It was only in the last few that I went over to the technology side. So that was a big piece of it. Another thing I'm really proud of is, ICD is one of the best kept secrets around. That's not the part I'm proud of. The part I'm proud of is things like the pulse being consistent for our subscribers, because you always have to balance what are you doing for the people who are already there with the people that you don't know about you. And then the big thing I did was I made a push for getting to know our international federation, the IFPOA members differently, because most of them are business organizations like a NAPO is, only in other countries. And so we're different. We're the chronic disorganization piece of it that nobody else does. So I did that. I also, because my expertise is ADHD, I reached out to the presidents of, in the United States so far, 3 of the largest organizations, ADA, the ADHD Coaches Organization, and CHAD, and have relationships with the presidents. And I want to see Allison continue that, or whoever on the board is the right person to do it, with hoarding, with brain injury, with aging, because who is it that says we're the premier resource? Our subscribers. But what about in the outside world? I mean, the outside world is also a judge of that. So when we went to Chad, they said, you know, so many people with ADHD have tried to work with organizers before, and the organizers don't understand ADHD the way that you guys do. And they looked at our education class and gave it the thumbs up, and that's what we want for each of our, especially the specialist levels. So that was a big thing, not to be the best kept secret around anymore.
Mhm.
And I think the last point I would make is, when I started, and even up until a few years ago, this was the baby boomers organization. It was started by people who are still here, many of whom are still working. I'm on the younger side of the baby boomers. So if you start with kind of 55-ish, I think, and go up from there, we're still there, but it's not how this organization should be run anymore. It's electronic, it's virtual board meetings, it's more online presence, it's finding ways to appeal to different sets of needs. So where before we said, oh, I'm a baby boomer, and so I can apply my experience. You can't do that anymore unless you've got a really diverse board. So you've got to reach out to subscribers. You've got to do the connect up groups. You've got to do the phone survey, was tremendous. You've got to find ways to package the education. And we've done a couple of experiments this year, more are due for next year, into bits and bytes. So it's easier to, from ICD standpoint, it's easier to get the education out there. It's easier to develop specialists, because that seems to be what people come in for. And then we've updated the CPO/CD program, and the basic classes are being updated. So a lot has actually been happening besides this whole big transition thing, believe it or not. That has not taken up 100% of our time.
Right. And so that just goes to show how relevant we are, and we're staying relevant. We're increasing access to subscribers.
Yep.
And
much more autonomy.
Really working hard to elevate all of what we already are good at.
Mm-hmm.
So I thank you so much for
You're welcome.
Setting us up for future years of success. So
I'm excited about things like the virtual assembly and the connect up groups, because they start to institutionalize, and those are things that will continue every year. When we think about how we do things, we can act faster. Now so the answer to your question is, I feel like we've fixed the cracks in the foundation. We're not quite there, but man, we are so close. Now the proof is going to be in how good is our customer service. But we're people who know how to develop systems and routines, and so I'm not worried about that. I'm really not. I mean, it needs to be monitored, but I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
So we'll use our strengths there. And I feel very proud that I was the leader of a team for the last 2 years who got things in shape so that we could move ahead and stop worrying about basic operations, the cracks in the foundation. I feel like the house is built. The doors are ready to be swung open in the next couple of weeks. And who knows what we're going to do after that. That's the exciting part, right? Now that stuff is, yeah.
Cheers. Oh, thank you so much. And hey, I'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Right.
I kind of like this immediate past president, that I don't have to immediately say goodbye.
That's right.